Hello and welcome to episode 16 of The Spirit Engine 2. I'm Bring Stabity, the stabbiest Stabity that ever stabbityed, and with me I have...
And Weissmuller, who's still recovering from some really messed up sleep.
Oh, that's never any good. And we've got this epic music right as you started talking, so that was quite fitting. Anyway, this is about the fourth time that you're going to talk to me about Dishonest Pete.
Um, yes, it is, but so other people can actually hear it. Dishonest Pete, you see, in the Spirit Engine 1, was the very first merchant in the game in this little mining town, the guy with an eye patch. Now, the Spirit Engine 2 shares neither story nor setting with the Spirit Engine 1, but yet, here he is, a clear reference to the older game.
Yeah, but like you were saying, since it's a completely different setting, it's probably not the same guy, just a very obvious callback. Do you have a good Cockney accent?
I really don't.
Neither do I. Alright, governors, when I saw such a handsome oh, jeez, that's terrible. Alright, governors, when I saw such a handsome band of adventurers marching up Armistice Road, I just knew you'd be stopping by Pete's. It takes a certain class of customers to appreciate my merchandise. Now, if I know you, you're thinking, hang on, what is this charming fellow trying to sell us? Instead, ask yourself a quicker question. What is this charming fellow not trying to sell us? You see something you like around here, Pete can have it for you so long as the initial investment compensates for the willingness of the owner. The world is my stall. These goods wouldn't be stolen, would they? Goodness me, governor, stolen? Whatever gave you that idea? Well, the sign does say, Dishonest Pete. There's only one kind of customer that's going to attract. Exactly, and here you are. Now, governor. Now, governors, can we stop quibbling about matters of legality and talk money? Wait a minute. Is that my prayer book over there? Yeah. Ah, so it is. Sorry, it's a bad habit I've got there. I took the liberty of freeing it from your back pocket while you were talking with the important gentleman. Here, you can have it back as a gesture of goodwill. Government in a nutshell. Okay, here, as a gesture of goodwill, here's some of your own money back. Shame upon you, Pete. If you do not mend your ways now, the good Lord will take payment for each and every item here when you reach the gates of heaven. You two, check your belongings. You look awfully familiar, Dishonest Pete. Have I seen you somewhere before? You might have. There's a little Pete in every shady alleyway and every rotten dive you come across. Dishonest Pete knows no boundaries. He travels wherever demand is high and supply is low. A global prince of commerce is what I am. Alright. We get the idea. Just show us what you've got and keep your hands where I can see them.
Well,
Okay.
we can unload the two most expensive things that we currently have right now.
Yep, so let's see. 185, pretty darn expensive. 180, 250. Okay. Smoked plated belt. Powder smoke screen. Yeah, we decided to keep the other belts, I believe.
Yeah.
So, whoops. Not right click. Skip. Click. And 185 was the next one. Yes, it was. Okay, got rid of you. Let's take a peek what we got. Standard military rifle. Base damage 13. Compared to base damage 10.
That is a big upgrade.
That is. So it's on the, let's see, how much do we have? We've got a lot of credits. Still, we'll put it on the very likely to get list. Eye for Wind. Special Party Heal, base damage 11. Hack, Slay, Thunderstrike. I like that. Furwin. Ooh, Sword Faith plus 50.
It has a larger base damage and a bonus to...
Base damage 11 versus base damage 9. Yeah, I think that's a take also.
Alright.
Gorlamange. Gorlamagna?
Gorlamon.
Lamon?
It's like Charlemagne, only,
Yeah. Just whoever Gorl is.
yes.
Not Charles Magnus, but Gorl Magnus. Diamond Plate. Heavy armor by Furwin. 52, 125, 85. 70, 70, 55.
I'm
very good
not
concussive,
entire...
but
It
yeah.
has excellent concussive, but this one has some other
nothing-
bonuses.
yeah.
It might be an upgrade, but I'm not entirely sure I'm sold on it.
Neither am I. So far the weapons are a go, and the
Well, let's take a
Diamond
look at the
plate and-
vest compared to Grace's current.
45, 125, 60. 125, 60. I think that's quite the improvement.
Hmm.
Yeah, not for him though.
It's not as good against piercing, but I think the overall improvement is probably worth it.
Yep. Okay, so far these three are on the yes list. Fortress Shield.
Well, that-
Piercing, Concussive, magical.
I don't like the piercing bonus minus 25, though.
Oh, so that's a penalty against him. So it's a malice, right?
Yes.
That sounds terrible. Yeah, especially compared to all the bonuses we got there.
Let's see
sorry,
what that
Fortress.
gun belt is.
Sorry, what was that? Gun belt?
Let's see. Sapper's Bandolier. Let's see. And let's see how that
Concussive
compares.
bonus, explosive shell. Compared to powder, magical, piercing bonus, and concussive bonus.
Maybe worth it.
Yeah,
And
it's got a big concussive bonus and a big explosive shell bonus, but
It's going to be
piercing's
helpful for-
kind of our bread and butter.
It's better defensively, and it does actually have some offensive, but maybe we want to save the money.
Yeah. And that's... nah.
So let's get the
Especially-
rifle, the sword, and the diamond vest.
Yep. And Cobalt Blue, that's just magical times 32. 1,000 petals, concussive, chi.
That's the one we just sold back.
That's the one we just sold back. That's right, these two.
Yes.
Okay, so we said 1, 2, 3. And Grace can get the plated vest and the military rifle. And Furwin can get the Gorlamag. Consecrated energy ring.
That's just been sitting around. Right, and let's see what's the most expensive here.
15, 7,
I think the
180.
sword, the plate armor, and the flak jacket.
7, 115. Yep. Okay. Can I move you? No, I can't. That's fine. Alright, well. That was something at least. Parliamentarian Batiste.
Ah, the 3 survivors from the center of town, from the great General Winters. You're very lucky to be alive. You must have an outstanding story to tell. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Parliamentarian Batiste, representative for Northeastern Amara.
Good day to you, Parliamentarian. I hope you don't intend to make this meeting any more unpleasant than it needs to be. I'm no longer a general, and I humbly ask that you address me by my proper title.
Of course, Mrs. Winters, my mistake. News of your resignation reached our backwards little state, but my memory is short, which is of course why I bear you no ill will. Ooh,
That is.
that is a cunning insult there.
His... You'll have to explain to me the insult.
My memory is short, which is of course why I bear you no ill will.
See, I would view that as sort of a, not so much an insult, just as much as, yeah, but let's pretend that I don't. Sort of being, politically friendly.
As I said, it's not very open, but it just struck me there as, oh, that's sort of, I say, let the past rest. After all, the future is our destination, is it not?
You must be the man offering the reward for the apprehension of the keepers. It's nice to meet you.
Ah, yes, that I am. I have been trying, along with a number of other representatives, to pass legislation through Parliament to outlaw their sinister cult before this latest series of outrages. They've been involved in attacks on a great number of my constituents. Alas, I have had little success in gaining any meaningful support for action against them from my fellow parliamentarians.
Just look at that face. It's like, oh.
Their minds are clouded at the best of times. The otherworldly things that whisper in their ears care little for the dignity of men. I dare not speak their name here, but I think you know of whom I speak. Ultimately, I have little power inside Parliament, especially given the legacy of my father. There's little that I have been able to do to fight this insidious conspiracy. Wait, you must be the three vigilantes who stepped in to save the girl in Blue Feather Forest. Ha! What are the odds? It's so small that this cannot be anything other than fate guiding us into happy union. I believe you met one of my assistants, Shala. She's been in close pursuit of one of the keeper cells for many months now.
The lady in the white armor? Yes, we helped her save Isabel. She looks a lot like...
Her sister, doesn't she? It seems blessings come in threes. Shala is a little abrupt, as you might have noticed, but do please excuse her. Her heart is in the right place and her dedication is unquestionable.
My prince, you must come. There is a report of a contact heading north from Tokesworth? And Julius
Tolksworth?
Tolksworth? And Julius says that we must move quickly.
Of course, I must return to my constituents. My place is home in Amara, where I can inform and comfort them. Though I doubt we'll see each other again, it was a pleasure to meet you all, Mrs. Winters included. My thanks to you.
So, fantasy RPG trope, 10 out of 10 odds that we're meeting him again, right?
No comment.
Okay. Do you two know each other, Grace? By reputation alone. The boy has had a terrible upbringing and has every reason to hate me. He was only 11 when his father was killed, and he watched his home and his people, his inheritance, burn around him. Hardly the Lefty's army's finest hour, nor my own. Parliament installed him as one of the state's only 6 representatives to try and appease the Amarans. It is perhaps the poorest part of Loreftane, and the responsibility on him must be difficult at such an age. The poor boy must have a lot to deal with right now. Right, let's move on. To Littlehampton. Chapter
And
6.
remember Tolksworth being mentioned?
Yep.
In that previous conversation, we see where it is.
There it
And
is.
Kelstarin and Porto Vale both sort of exploded.
That they did.
Oh, and we can see where Amara is on this map. He's the representative for northeastern Amara. So
probably from there. Oh, my mouse doesn't show up because I've
well,
screen zoom.
near where the name of the province is.
Yep, bottom right corner. And the top right corner of the province. Yeah, Kilstarin's there, even though it exploded. Portavale's there, even though it exploded. So yeah, off we go to Little Hampton. Chapter 6, On Top of the World. I was back there again, at the crest of the hill, looking down across the fields. So silent, save for the sound of tattered flags flapping in the wind, desperate cries of the dying. So many of them were cut down in so short a time, and all it took from me was one hoarse whisper. Damn these cruel nightmares. I'd hoped they'd have finally let me. Silly Grace, you should have known better. The dead are not so eager to let you forget. My head is spinning. I need a drink. Something to steady my nerves. I wish I were back home. I wish this new horror had never found me. I wish I'd never had to make a choice that was never really a choice. And most of all, I wish Jeremiah were here with me. Not to talk or to listen, but just to be here. I'm missing him so very much right now. The bed feels so cold and empty without him. Goodness me, look at the time. I've overslept. And after I lectured the others about assembling promptly in the morning too. I must have been more tired than I realized. Yes.
And we see a little more about how haunted Grace is, actually.
Yeah, very haunted. I mean, I just love sort of the poetic imagery of the dead won't let me rest. It's terrible, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, tired, and suddenly, for the first time, old. But I can't afford to wallow in self-pity. For all the sins I have performed in its name, my country still needs me. We have too much to do and too little time, with too much at stake. Is it ever any other way? I suppose not. I need to get dressed, get downstairs, and occupy my mind with the future. Dear Ferwin, I hope this letter finds you well, my love. I've become increasingly worried by your correspondence and your description of the situation which entangles you. I cannot share your charming, boyish enthusiasm for this quest, much as I find it sweetly endearing. All I can do is worry when I hear you describe your numerous perilous predicaments. People on the street here can only speak of impending war, and suddenly, I feel the desperate need to see you home again, my love. With your parents and the Forsyths plotting, we may only have one last chance to see each other again and I cannot stay here any longer. I have every confidence in your abilities, but I cannot resist my own fears. You're worrying me half to death, and I must see that you are all right. Well, there was that little party wipe that we had, and if we didn't have a save mechanism, well, her boyfriend would be dead. I love you, Ferwin Drake Talbot III, and I miss you. I have borrowed Father's rifle, and I'm coming to find you. I will follow Amadeus. That sweet bird seems to know instinctively where you are. No, no, no! I will see you again. Love, Marie. Oh no! What has Marie done? Out alone, on the road, with the country in chaos? It's only a matter of time before trouble finds her. Or, more likely, she starts it herself. I doubt she can do as much damage with a rifle as she can with her mouth. You must fly and find her, Amadeus. Do you hear me? Take my handkerchief and go as fast as you can. Bring her safely here.
Well, that's exciting to add to the stream.
Yeah. Dear Lord, it's been over a day since I've spoken with you at length. I apologize for my lateness, but, as you know, I've been otherwise occupied by increasingly extraordinary events. I am out of my depths and unfamiliar, but gentle company, please bless Ferwin and Grace, and grant us safe passage on our journey. They may not be so committed to their faith, but they are good people, and we are bound together by a noble cause. Please forgive me for the frailties that I suffer. Though my heart and soul are dedicated to your service, I am only human, and it is through my struggle against my failings that I define myself. There were moments this past week when my faith has faltered. We need your love now more than ever, but I am seeing so little, and it is difficult. But I believe in reason and in causes, and without your love there would be none. But I will hold true to what I know in my heart to be right, because without that, I am nothing. I must confess that I have said harsh words to my companions. I try not to mean them, but you know my temper is poor. I shall try to think before I speak. I can't promise anything. At least he's aware of his faults.
Yep.
I also have this dull ache in my shoulder, which is becoming quite troublesome. If you could give it some minor attention, I would be most grateful. Eternal peace. Good morning, Grace. Sorry I'm late. I just lost track of the time. It's alright. I woke late myself. No harm has been done. I think we all needed the rest. And that fantastic meal last night, too. This place does the best home roast I've ever tasted. Where is Mauritius? Don't worry, I'm up. I can't say that I'm awake yet. What are we doing here again? Well, so much for, not using harsh words. Oh, to be fair, he didn't use harsh words, only a harsh tone. And a annoyed scowl on his face. The plan is to scale the mountain before nightfall. It won't be easy, but we can manage it. The Institute is located near the summit. Heaven knows why they chose such a remote location, but that's where we're headed. I saw the mountain from my window, Grace. It looks very tall and very cold, even at this distance. Are you sure we can scale it in one day? No, Mauritius, I'm not. But we can't afford to spend the night on the slopes. I fear it will be too cold and too perilous without the sun above us. So we're climbing that mountain by nightfall, or not at all. Have you two noticed how quiet it is around here? People seem so nervous. They look away quickly when you meet their gaze. I haven't asked, but I'm sure something must be wrong. I've noticed it too, Ferwin. I wouldn't say it was an unwelcome feeling, but I certainly think they'd rather we weren't here. They almost act as if they're guilty of something. Well, it's not our problem, whatever it is. We're just passing through. And the sooner, the better. Indeed. Grab some food and let's get going. We have a long day ahead of us.
I have to say, I love how they have the freezing in the ground beneath, where it's heavily crystallized up near the top. Then you see it's freezing, but it fades off as it gets deeper and deeper, insulated from the
cold. Yeah.
That's cool.
It definitely is. Oh. And that yawn there means that we're only recording one episode, and we're probably close to the end of this one. Meredith. Oh, go ahead.
Meredith says he came crashing in through the upstairs window in a cloud of splintered wood, cloak billowing, fangs gleaming in the moonlight and hissing like a snake. Turlt leapt from the bed and rushed him with his sword, but the beast batted him aside as though he were a straw scarecrow, as opposed to a steel scarecrow.
Yeah.
Poor Turlt cracked 3 ribs on his own fireplace and was left a crumpled heap as the monster loomed over Meredith. It was only when the town woke and the fiend saw the tide of torches approaching that it turned and sailed away into the night sky. Perhaps the flame brings back bad memories for the beast.
Lord preserve us. Who will the Count's vengeance claim next? Perhaps we deserve to be stalked by this horror. What fools we were to think that we could take the torch to him and his family and escape unpunished. Goodness, that's an impressive looking break. Must have taken a lot of force to do that. What's going on here? It's nothing of consequence, strangers. Trouble with the chill splinters. At the break of an autumn, they often wander down from the main to cause trouble.
That's an obvious lie.
Jemima Puddlesworth. I see. They're quite the little vandals, aren't they? I didn't realize they could climb so high. No wonder you're worried. Nothing we can't handle. You three came in on the Vale Road, didn't you? You must tell us what's happening up there. We've heard nothing for days. Even the newsprints are late. No one pays us mountain folk any attention until they need something from us. It's the tax office in spring, and mark my words, if the situation's as bad as Jeb says he's heard, there'll be a draftsman from the army round soon enough.
My husband was trading in Glendenoth last week, and he should have been back home by now. Please tell us what you've heard.
I'm sorry, we don't know much more than you folk. The situation appears bleak, but Glendenoth is in no immediate danger. The roads are very busy, though, so your husband is bound to be delayed. In such a time, it's mighty strange to see folks as heavily armed as yourselves sheltering in our humble little village. So much would be happening out to the west. Just what are you doing here? We're looking to scale the mountain and visit the Institute. You good people wouldn't be able to advise us on the best route up, would you? Mountain? No, I'll be no assistant to suicide. It's not advisable to go anywhere near Shattermane at this time of year. The Iceni are collecting food for the winter, and their tastes are none too fussy. So unless you want to end up as a rack of meat in their icy larders, you'd best off turning back now. Or worse, you run into the Counts. Watch your tongue, Jemina. Oh, Jemina. There's nothing to fear out on the slopes beside the Iceni and their chill splinters, as you well know. Yes. There's a good reason the Institute was built at Shattermane's Peak. You have a Rakari roosting up there to keep them safe, and anything else moving on those slopes is taking a terrible risk. Some folks say that the Institute is sited there to keep interlopers out, and I expect it's in order to keep those oddballs in. It's an asylum of sorts, whose inmates not get far fleeing across the main. Those people have some mighty strange ideas. It's best for us all that they're kept out of society. Oof.
We wouldn't want too much thinking to happen.
Yeah. And you wouldn't want to get cooties from all those nerds. Thank you for the warning. We'll just have to make do as best we can, because we intend to scale the mountain anyway. Very well, we cannot stop you. But don't say you weren't warned. Maine is a cold and deadly splinter of rock. You'll not be the first, or the last victims she's claimed. Well, that's something.
Those are some claw marks.
Yes, they are. Hey, you there! The three looking to climb Shattermane, yes? That's right. Why do you ask? Because your climb will eventually see you crossing paths with the Count, one way or another. Slopes are his now. He won't take kindly to trespassers, because you look capable of doing what needs to be done. We, the town, have a favor to ask of you. None of the others will dare talk about it to outsiders. They're too frightened of the Count, of each other, and of what they've done. I don't believe in murder. That's why I had no part in this originally. I feel free to speak to you here. But what's needed now isn't murder, but mercy. Mercy? What's happened? What are you talking about? You see that ruined, blackened manor up on the mountainside? It's Castle Kristoff, home of the Kristoff family for 12 generations. They used to own the land about here, till 5 years ago. You see, Count Kristoff was a harsh man, gave little love and received little in return. In the winter of 728, word reached us that he was planning to sell the land upon which the town is built and strip the valley for mining. The original lease was made to a distant ancestor of Kristoff, a kinder man who wouldn't have dreamed of selling the earth out from beneath the feet of his tenants and leaving thousands homeless. There was panic in the town, anger and despair. From it, something dark was born, something that now haunts more than just our dreams. One bitterly cold and windy winter night, as the Kristoff clan assembled for their annual dinner in the castle, a mob of townspeople marched through the snowdrifts, up the mountainside to surround it. Brought torches and kindling wood. They barricaded the mighty oak doors shut, piled wood around the windows, and set light to it. Within minutes, the flames had spread to the roof. The castle went up like a glorious bonfire. You could hear the screams of the Kristoffs from down here in town. 4 generations of the family perished in that fearsome inferno, leaving naught but ashes and brick. Lady Kristoff was the last to die, so rumor says. She leapt screaming from an upper floor window and ran away into the night, a flailing, blazing human torch. They never did find her body. Doubtless she came across a ravine and, God willing, the fall finally killed her. Oh God, that's horrible! The entire family. How could anyone do such a dreadful thing? I made no judgment either way, young man. I make no judgment either way, young man. When the authorities came round to sift through the wreckage and ask questions, I stayed quiet, for the good of my neighbors. Everyone did. No proof of any wrongdoing. The Kristoff lying dead. Ownership of the land reverted back to the government. One wicked act brought the townspeople and the children 5 more good years in this place. Till now. Superstitious fools used to say they heard Lady Kristoff wailing the high winds late at night. Now something more tangible and more dangerous stalks our village. Her husband has returned. The Count sweeps down from the mountain at night to attack the town. He's killed 8 so far, maimed 20, and injured or scared witless many more. Cannot look to any official authority for help.
8 victims so far.
Ha 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 ha! I was wondering how long it would take for you to make that joke. I suspect that the beast sleeps during the day in the ruins of his former home. None of the townsfolk have the courage to go near that place again. If you could surprise and slay the beast, you would be doing us a great service. You're asking us to risk our lives to cover this town's crimes. For what these people have done, perhaps they deserve such a fate. It was a wicked act. It forced any man into a corner as the Count did. He's capable of terrible things. If you think not of them, then please, think instead of the children, who do not deserve to suffer for the sins of their parents. Either way, you may have little choice if you want to reach the Institute. Kristoffs used to hold the master turnkey to the bridges they built on the southern slopes. Early one morning this summer, the town awoke to find them raised and locked. You can guess who is holding it now. This is repugnant. People should be far more worried about the judgment you'll receive for this wicked crime in the next life, the immediate trouble fending off a 5-year-old corpse in this one. That Count is far from a corpse, Father. He waits between the grave of the land and the living. No longer human, he has become a monster, the likes of which I fear even you 3 may not be able to handle. We shall see about that if and when we encounter him. We appreciate the warning. We shall consider your proposition, sir. That's all I ask. Thank you kindly. So, of course it's a Count. How could it be anything other than a Count?
Spoilers. The undead Count is a vampire.
Who would have guessed?
If you'll give me the favor of a moment's attention, we have a wide range of adventurers' equipment for sale, from swords to blessed rings. Please, there's not many strangers who stay long in Little Hampton, so your service would do me much good. Well, let's see what she's got.
Let's. Okay.
Oh, I like that light armor, actually.
Light armor, sharpshooter's jackets.
I think replacing the one we just bought actually may be worth it. That's sort of a waste of money, but we still have a good amount of money.
Yeah, piercing bonus, same shot, high fire, 68, 65, 35. Yeah, we lose a bit on the concussive, but yeah, that's good. That is really good. Note to anyone following along, don't buy that don't buy that armor that we bought.
And I think that necklace is also going to be. I think replacing Grace's necklace is now in order.
Grace's Gnarled Talisman of Minor Party Heal. Twisted Talisman of Major Party Heal. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Go. Everyone gets heals and bigger ones this time. Let's see. 27, 65, 20, 245. Obviously selling that. 295. These two are the next ones to go. Let's take a look. Base damage, no.
The staves are useless to us. They're both for
different builds?
Well, they're for ones that are using more priest melee attacks.
Yep.
Likewise, the revised art of fighting is for more melee attacky stuff.
Yep, as
Let's
we
see
can
what
see
the
the
others-
bonus for strike. Saint Nai's health, party heal, health and heal. No, I don't think we want that. No, I think we're gonna stick with the cheap bonus.
All right.
Oh,
Well, let's replace Grace's health ring with that, I guess.
that was a absolute misclick. Dodge +5, blessing +3. Yeah,
That wasn't really intended, but we may as well make the most of it.
yeah. Me and my misclicking.
Me and my misclick and me.
Sell you.
And
sell
what's
you,
that? And the gun.
And the gun.
And what's the other ring there?
Yeah. A little piercing, a little concussive bonus.
Pretty good defensively, but nah.
Yep. Okay, well, we're at a save point, so that is it for episode 16. Save there.
16! Episode 16!
So, what's your favorite vampire?
Well, I don't know. Who's yours?
The Count from Sesame Street.
He doesn't count.
Oh, I assure you he does.
Oh, I love that one.
Classic joke. But yeah, good point to end this episode on. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, like, follow, subscribe. Check me out on Rumble and Odyssey to support alt tech instead of YouTube. Although I appreciate anything on YouTube as well. That's that. See you guys on the next episode. Bye now.